And now we're on Chapter 6, Lesson 6, and we're going to talk about interpreting remainders. What should we do when there is a remainder? We can interpret it in many ways. Excuse me. Example 1. Mandy wants to buy 4 books that each cost the same amount. If the total cost is $74, how much does each book cost? So $74 total divided amongst 4 books. Divide 74 by 4. So we're going to start. I wrote out my multiples of 4, my compatible numbers, to help me with my division. And I'm going to do 4 into 7 tenths. And I already see that going to 8 is too big. So that leaves me with 1. And 1 times 4 is 4. 7, take away 4 is 3. That's the regrouping. We would have 30 ones and the 4 ones that are left over. So now I need to look down my 4's chart for what's closest to 34 without going over. And I see 36 goes over, so the closest I can get is this 32. Now I just need to count to see how many jumps down it is, or how many groups of 4 I can fit in that 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means there are 8 groups of 4 in 34, which was 32, if you remember how many. So 32 goes here, and then I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 2 is 2. And since we are super awesome, we're not going to just write 2. We're going to write 2/4. And if you're super smart, you'll see 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Which is for my higher level groups there. 2/4 equals 1/2, 18.5 left over. The remainder shows that each book will cost a little more than $18. But since we know our fractions, we know it will cost 18.5, which would be $18.50 for those who want to challenge themselves a little bit further. But you don't have to do this step. This is just the challenge. Just know it'll cost a little bit more than $18 because we have the remainder there. That's fine. And example 2 has a different problem, and we're going to have to interpret the remainder a little bit differently. Gracie has 64 prizes. She will put 3 prizes in each bag. How many bags will she have? Keep in mind, if somebody doesn't have 3 prizes in their bag, they're going to be very upset, right? Just like you guys. Okay, so how many groups of 3 are in the 6? 1, 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. We didn't need to regroup. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 4 how many times? Well, 6 is too many, so it'll only go in. I'll only fit 1 group of 3 in 4. 1 times that leaves 1 group. So that leaves me a remainder of 1 left over. Now we could put 1/3 of the prizes. But we can't fill a bag with 1/3 of the prizes. So Gracie will have 21 bags. The remainder, 1, shows the number of prizes that Gracie will have left. So Gracie will have 1 prize left. We're not going to make a bag of that toy because somebody's going to have a hissy fit, right? Okay, so in this case, when we interpret the remainder that is just left over, we're not going to make another bag with it. We're not going to round up. We're just going to drop the remainder in this case. But in order to check, we're going to take our quotient, 21, multiply it by 3. We're going to get 63. Now we're going to take 63 and add 1, which was our leftover, and we're going to get 64, which was what we were dividing to begin with, 64. That's how we know we got it right. Now example 1 here, there are 45 people waiting for a bus. Each seat holds 2 people. How many seats will be needed? So we've got this left over. We need to figure out, do we round up or do we just drop the remainder if we've got this extra person that needs a seat? So think about that as you get your answer there. Are you going to drop the remainder, or are you going to have to round up that quotient to get that last person?